Breaking news right now. Alabama has picked up its 11th commitment in the 2023 recruiting class as top JUCO wide receiver Malik Benson from Hutchinson Community College in Kansas has just announced his commitment to the Crimson Tide. This is a big pickup for Alabama as it has really zeroed in on Malik Benson over the last several months as one of its top overall targets in this 2023 recruiting class. Benson is now the second wide receiver commitment in the last week for Alabama, joining four-star wide receiver Cole Adams from Owasso, Oklahoma. Now, this is an exciting pickup for Alabama with Benson jumping on board. He is a junior college first-team All-American, had over 1,200 yards receiving during his freshman season at Hutchinson Community College and 11 touchdowns. He's also been clocked in the 100 meters at a 10.4. This is a guy who can beat you over the top. He can beat you short distance, long distance. He is a home run hitter at the wide receiver position, certainly somebody that can create a massive impact in the Crimson Tide's offense next season. Now, with 11 commitments on board for the Crimson Tide, we're certainly expecting some more fireworks in the next couple days, couple weeks, as more decisions are expected to happen. We're going to be watching Peter Woods on Friday, July the 8th, as he announces his commitment to Thompson defensive lineman, has a top four of Alabama, Clemson, Florida, and Jackson State. Now, we do expect his decision to come down to Alabama and Clemson. And as of right now, I am leaning towards the Clemson Tigers in his recruitment. Now, what's going to happen the rest of the way as far as wide receivers go in this 2023 recruiting class, with Alabama having two wide receivers on board, knowing that they signed 5 wide receivers in the 2022 class, not a lot of targets still out there. Now, there's some guys that we've seen Alabama offer over the course of the last month, including Jaron Hamilton from Gainesville, Florida. So Alabama also extended an offer to Demetrius Bell out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, currently committed to Michigan State. Those are two recent offers over the course of the last month. We know some other guys that have been to Tuscaloosa for official visits, including Shelton Sampson, one of the top wide receivers in the country out of Louisiana. We know that Aiden Mizell out of Boone High School in Orlando, Florida, also visited. Now, as of right now, I don't really see either one of those guys in Alabama's recruiting class. I think Shelton Sampson ends up going to LSU, and with Aiden Mizell, I think there's a good chance that he stays in the state of Florida. But Georgia also very high on his list. We're going to watch a few other guys over the course of the next few months, kind of see what happens in their recruitment. Hakeem Williams out of South Florida, one of the top wide receivers in the country, has visited Alabama before, didn't make a trip to Tuscaloosa during the summer, but says he's still very interested in Alabama. I would say Alabama's on the outside for him right now. Another top wide receiver that they're still going after is Jalen Hill out of the state of Texas. Now, Jalen says he's still trying to work on a return visit to Alabama, made a trip to Tuscaloosa during the spring, but didn't make it back in June. We'll see if he makes a trip in late July to Alabama, see if the Tide can get back involved with Jalen Hill. But with 2 wide receivers on board, there's not really a lot of room for many more wide receivers in this recruiting class. I certainly expect Alabama to add potentially one more. I don't see Alabama signing 4 or 5. I do think they'll end up signing 3 wide receivers. Another wide receiver that we're going to be paying pretty close attention to as we move forward this fall is Carmelo English. Now, Carmelo English is an in-state wide receiver from Central High School in Phoenix City, just committed to Auburn. Now, I do think that Alabama is going to be watching him closely. We could see a big push from the Crimson Tide. Now, that doesn't guarantee that he's going to flip his commitment from Auburn, but we're certainly going to watch him and see if he might make a trip back to Tuscaloosa sometime in the next few months. So that's the breaking news update. Malik Benson, top junior college wide receiver in the country, has committed to the Crimson Tide today, becoming the 11th commitment in the 2023 recruiting class. For more breaking news, stay tuned to our Bama Insider YouTube channel.